are trying to get their students not to depend on it. And so advice from groups of faculty that work together to come up with policies and ideas for it. They say, be transparent about when it's okay to use it, when it's not, and why it's not. So otherwise they just think, oh, why is this teacher making me do this? I can just, ChatGPT can do it in 30 seconds. Why is this teacher making me do it? Labor laws. So students need to be reporting in ways what they're doing, and make sure that when you're in the classroom face-to-face, you're taking advantage of that for students to interact and produce things together. Move students away from the screen. Again, easier said than done. That's a whole other topic. Collaborate with students on making policies about when it's good to use it, when it's not, and why. So sort of to agree with you what times it's good not to do it, and discuss moral, ethical issues that we just talked about, and then always, be a passionate teacher. It helps with everything. Okay, and one other thing I wanted to say about University of Oregon, I haven't heard anyone talk about AI detection right now. Is anybody using AI detection tools? Is it working for you?
We gave it a text that was human generated, and ChatGPT, we uploaded it in Turnitin, not ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And the report said that it's likely machine generated text, whereas it was totally human generated.
Yes.
And with AI generated text, sometimes there are false results, positives as well.
That's right, yeah.
So that is why here in Pakistan we have this policy that officially through HEC, if you allow, I will share it, that if the AI detection is less than 22%, the Turnitin software, which various universities use, it will not show. I mean, it will show it as zero detection. But if it is more than 22%, then the percentage will be shown.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really informative.
Say a few words to the audience.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. It's an honor and pleasure to be here to be part of this workshop, which is being organized by our English department. I have been told that there are so many people who have joined us from various different cities and different organizations. So welcome to Patna International University, and I hope we have a very productive time here. The topic, as you all know, is about artificial intelligence and advanced academic writing, pronunciation, and so on. So I think we all understand that whichever field we are working in, whether it's languages or sciences or arts and literature, artificial intelligence is something which is changing the world very quickly, and sort of finding it hard to keep pace with that. And I'm glad to know that there are lots of teachers here who have joined us, because I always feel that with this rapidly changing world, teachers really need to be trained to keep pace with the, most of the time we see that students, the young people, they learn the technologies much faster, and so of course the teachers really need the department and the team for organizing this event. And of course I'm so very grateful to Bharat Soul and Relo, the collaborating organizations for make this event happen, and of course our resource person, Dr. Patricia. I hope I don't pronounce it wrong, because this is a workshop about pronunciation, so I'm conscious. Patricia Ashby. So thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us, and I had a little discussion with her, and she's very happy about the participation of all the participants. So that's wonderful. And again, thank you very much for being a partner to the university, and I wish you a very productive time today as well as tomorrow. Thank you.
Really happy to be here, and I'm really glad that you have excited to join the sessions today and tomorrow. So we've got a bit of work to do. I'm wondering if it's okay if we take a little break on your classes, or you will in the future. Okay, so number one thing that I make sure my students have some experiences with, build confidence, away from ChatGPT, is formal academic style, and number one, conciseness. I have discovered over the years with all of my students, my learners, non-English speaking learners, my American students, undergraduates, graduates, that one of the keys to improved writing style is proofreading and editing for conciseness. So I'm going to do a little bit of that with you in a minute. But also cohesion and Mentimeter, paraphrasing, summarizing, citation, that came up on the Mentimeter. Content and organization of research papers, we've already talked about that. And yeah, nuts and bolts. Grammar. Yeah, ChatGPT can give feedback and help, but I also want my students, again, build their confidence so that they're not, I don't know, like a prisoner or a victim of ChatGPT, that they actually have some of those skills. Punctuation, part of that as well. And then I've mentioned before, getting them really, let's talk a minute, before we get into the conciseness, what is formal academic style? What are the characteristics of it? How does it contrast with informal writing? So you guys have expertise in this area as graduate students, as teachers. What does it mean to you? And again, what's in your head right now? Don't look anything up on your phone. What comes to mind? So take a minute, so I would say. And we use it at University of Oregon, not just for the international students, but American students too benefit for this. It really gets them thinking. But it starts off with my favorite chapter that's all about academic style, and I love to start with that when I'm working with my students. And they give, this is a, you need to pay attention to these areas, and then you have to look in your field, in the journals in your field. How are they handling things like this? Is the word I used? It is in my field, in education and applied linguistics, and a lot of the journals were using I, but maybe, you know, some they're not. Contractions, formal negatives, etc. I always fight with my students.
Considerable, robust, increasing.
I'm going to call a few more. Yeah, I mean, if we know, then we should share. Otherwise, it sounds really informal. There's a lot. Okay, and thank you. That was nicely done. Do your students use a lot in their writing? Oh my goodness. And it's so easy to change. It's just so easy to change. So that's one of my top rules, is that a lot does not belong anywhere in your paper. How about number 4? Robust. Robust, okay. Nice is a very weak kind of, you know, everyday word. And then let me call one more name, because it's kind of fun for me to call names in here. Mohi.
Yes, please. The next one is increasing.
Yes, why?
Because number one, it's more formal. The other counterpart is more wordy, and academic writing is not wordy.
Exactly. And as I mentioned a little while ago, I'm really discovering that the key to developing my students' writing style is in avoiding wordiness, being concise. For me too. When I get to the later stages of my writing and I start looking for words to decrease, I always find them, and it really increases clarity and the style. Yeah. So, one before as well as if the job is for students to learn what these things are, changing the meaning. If you want to change things around, you can, but probably you don't have to. So take a minute or two, talk to your students. Hey, when you're speaking, it's okay. Oftentimes, even in formal presentations, we don't mind a few extra words. It adds kind of a rhythm and clarity. But in our writing, we don't need it. Okay, thank you very much. What about anything else in that one? Distant. What do you think? Distant? Some people say yes. Watch me try to move. Watch. Oh. I'm going to try. Whoa. Okay, that's me trying to make a question mark. It depends on the meaning. We didn't write this, so we don't know. Is distance important or not? We're not sure. But Bushra. Yes.
A room that is pink, there's no use of any color. A room that is pink. Can Surya come as Surya come both are synonyms, so we can use just one.
Which one?
That is pink can soothe.
Okay.
Can come, can soothe is fine. Yeah, even the both, because violent and aggressive both are again synonyms, so we can use one. A room that is pink can soothe the most violent or the most aggressive prisoner.
Do you like the choices, everybody?
Yes.
I do. I like your choosing. There are like almost two synonyms there. Anything else we can? That was great. Anything else you can cut? Yes. Yeah. You're going to watch my hand try to do something. I'm not even going to bother, but yeah. Do we need to move it? Okay. So. Okay, so on his head was a lot like the to the ear. What helmet only goes on the head. That was nice. Did anybody cut anything else out? Yeah, what else did you cut out?
Motorcycle.
Oh.
Because naturally the boys.
Okay. What if we did that?
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle and motorcycles. I think that's a little repetitious. Okay. I like what you're doing here. We've got two more. Number 5, Fatima.
Can discolor delicate fabrics quickly.
Okay, so I heard you cut out fragile. Yeah, we have delicate and fragile. Delicate is actually the one we use with clothing. So that would be a little, and then, scorch and discolor. Now, scorch actually means burn and discolor. So I would probably go with the scorch, but either one is fine. Scorch means it does. What about hot? Some people might say, get rid of it. Of course it's hot if it's, scorching, doing things like that. So again, you is the right favorite, and I want to see how brutal you can be. Hafsa. Where are you? Okay. What can you cut out of number 6?
To be solved. The problem still remains.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Do we need still?
Problem remains.
You guys, I've lost my ability. Probably still isn't in that. Nicely done. Yeah, I like that. My students back at University of Oregon, when I do it, they don't cut it as much. That was fantastic. Okay, so work. So I'm going to ask you right now to go back to the paragraph or paragraphs that you wrote in the morning differently. And so you have to decide as a reader, as a good reader, which one do you prefer and why? I tell them your writing will be stronger if you present old information first in a sentence and present new information. So when you're introducing a topic, the new idea comes in at the end of the sentence, and then you pick that up to start the next sentence. So that's what we call the old to new. And that's when we might use active, we might use passive. That's less important than connecting, like where the new and the old information come in. So that's something that we do practice a lot, and I get them observing